What's going on, YouTube? It's James with Hammer Fantasy Battle Reports, and I got a doozy of a game for you today. I got a game against my rival Dan, and Dan is bringing out his Highborn elf army as usual. We actually had a game in a couple days before I made this video, and what ended up happening is we only got to like round 3, and the Dice Dojo closed on us, and we were like, shit, we didn't finish our game. I'm not going to put up a half of a battle report. It's just not worth it. So I decided we're going to get a rematch. We got a rematch on a couple days after, and sure enough, here it is. So without further ado, let's go over what Dan brought in his Highborn army, and I'll also go over what I brought. Over here, Dan has a unit of Highborn Lancers. 5 strong. Right next to him, he has an Archmage, level 4, Lore of Fire with a big red dragon. Oh. Next to him, he has the Knights of Rima. I don't know how to pronounce that. I don't know half of these pronunciations. And it's a 5 strong with, I think they have the banner, the dragon banner, whatever it is called. Over here, he has, on the right, far right, he has 5 Elaine Reavers, and if they're not Elaine, if they're Elian or whatever they're called, they look like Elaine to me, okay? So they're Elaine. Next to them is a Lion Guard Chariot. Next to him is a Great Eagle, War Eagle, I don't know its name. And then next to them is 28 Lion Guard with the BSB in that unit as well. Over here he has a unit of Sword Masters. It looks like 25-ish, maybe 30, and then he also has a unit of Coastal Sea Guard, the Coastal Guard. As for my side over here, this is kind of how I deployed. But over here I got 2 Git launchers. Next to the Git launchers, right there, is a unit of 21. Maybe it was 21. That looks like 19. 19 orc lads with bows and spears. In front of them is a unit of 24 goblins with short bows, tomahawks, and the poison banner, whatever it is, the spider banner. Right here next to them, that big red blob, that is my 30 or 29 feral orc Ed Bashers with full command. They have the BSB with them. The BSB has the war banner and plates of Tuk Tech. And then I also have a Black Orc Chief in that unit, or Iron Orc Chief, excuse me. Iron Orc Chief in that unit. He has the Crown of Dominion, and then I also have my level 3 Orc Shaman in there, and he has the Wog Paint, the Feral Wog Paint. There's also the Mammoth Stabbo, which I'm going to don, the Mammoth Stabadon. And then to the left of them, that is my Orc Chariot, temporary Orc Chariot till I get my better one up and running. And then behind them is my temporary Lord on a Wyvern. My Warlord on a Wyvern, he has a 2-up armor, a 4-up ward. He has the Battle Axe that gives him +2 attacks. He has a speed potion, and then he also has a hardened shield. So, over on this side, over here, I got my Gargantula on the left. That is he has just a shit ton of attacks. A great monster to have. And then right next to him, I got the Giant. And the Giant, technically, this is my Wyvern model, my Undead Wyvern model, but I have yet to make my Giant yet. I'll probably get cracking on that towards Christmas, so that won't be up till after that. But anyways, this is my acting Giant till then. And then over here, I got Chickenhead. King Chickenhead. He's on a scouting spider. He popped out this side of the building. This is actually the first thing on the game, but we'll get back to that when we get there. Over here, I got my spells. I got Dirty Thieving. I got Curse of the Green Moon. I got Evil Eye and Fix It. Over here, I got Get Them. Here we go. Fist of Gork, or Bashing Fist, excuse me, and the Great Green Hand. As for my opponent, he won the first turn, so he's going to go ahead and do, first off, he does this for his, what is that called? His Vanguard. So he moves these guys up behind Chickenhead. Chickenhead was hiding behind the building. He knew he couldn't charge him, and besides that, it's just whatever. If they want to shoot at Chickenhead, they can. He has a 2-up armor. So he starts moving his, he just starts moving all his units up like so, as you can see. And he really doesn't do much other than move just up, because he can't really do much on turn 1. So Magic Face, he got 9 power dice. He's going to go ahead and throw up this Burning Ramparts, which is a remaining plate. It's basically a cage of fire that sticks on the guys, and he threw it onto, I believe, the Forest Goblins. And I was just like, nah, I'm going to dispel that one. So I dispelled it. So then he goes ahead and does Smoldering Ember, which gives him a 5-up board and +1 toughness onto his dragon. I go ahead and give it to that guy. And sure enough, he goes ahead and throws up Flaming Swords. He throws it onto these guys. But most of these, I don't care that they go off because they're all in close combat stuff. And I'm like, I'm all the way over here. I'm not going to worry about all that stuff. So it's going to go, that was basically it. He has no real shooting. If he did shoot at somebody, it didn't do any wounds because I didn't even take a picture of it. So it must have not have happened. So turn 1, Orcs and Goblins. Now I have nothing to charge right now. I mean, I could have charged with Chicken Head, I guess, but it really didn't do much if I charged into the side flank of Lion Guard by myself. So I go ahead and I start moving up the units like so. I mean, as you can see right here, I started moving the Forest Goblins into the forest, but then I ended up changing my mind, and I ended up moving the Forest Goblin over this way to deal with the Hawk or the Reavers, and I'm thinking to myself, like, the Orc boys with the bows could take out the Hawk, the Goblins could try to take out the Reavers, and I don't want to have to deal with them destroying my Git launchers on the right. So I decided to move them back like this, and just leave it as so. Over here, I mean, this is just more movement, more or less. Magic, I got 8 power dice. First thing I throw out is Vindictive Glare, or Evil Eye, excuse me. And I got 11. It goes off, so I shoot it at, I believe I shoot it at these guys over here, the Lion Guard. And I get it off, but I only, on 3d6, I rolled 4. Are you fucking kidding me? So I don't even think I killed anybody. I think I might have wounded 1 or killed 1, and it was bullshit. So I roll a couple dice on to fix it, fail it. I roll a couple onto the Curse of the Moon, and I get it off, but he dispels it, and that's it. Shooting phase, these guys with bows over here shoot at the Hawk, only do 2 wounds. My character over here, Longshot, he ends up killing off 1 of the Reavers, and then the rest of the Goblins go and they kill off 3 more of the Reavers, so 4 Reavers are dead. He's going to go ahead and take a panic check. He passes it, I believe. So I go ahead and I shoot the Git launcher at that guy, kill him off. I shoot the second Git launcher at this guy, and I get a misfire, and it just doesn't do shit for a turn. And that is it. I was just hoping to take out all the chaff right now, so that way I don't have to deal with them getting into my war machines and just deal with bombing the rest of his army. But that is it. That is the end of my turn 1. It's going to go into his turn 2. Highborn Elves, turn 2, he's going to go ahead and charge his Eagle into my working Git launcher, of course. He's going to charge his Chariot and his Lion Guard into my Forest Goblins, and I didn't think this through. I was thinking, my original plan, putting them in the forest, they'll be stubborn, and my general could kind of hide behind them for getting charged. I didn't think at all that he was just going to charge right past the fucking Goblins. So I see this coming right now. He's going to charge into these guys. They're going to get their asses kicked against the High Guard. I believe that's it. Yeah, so he goes ahead and he charges in. The Chariot goes on the left. The guys go on the right. He's trying to just basically avoid over, because like if you figure center to center of the mass of his army is going to go ahead and make them turn into a favorable angle towards the flank of the Feral Orcs. He decides to move his Knights of Rima towards Chicken Head and his Lord in towards Chicken Head, and he moves his other guys over there. So this is not real pretty for me at the moment, but I mean I do got some beautiful charges coming up on my turn. Magic Phase got 6 power dice. He's going to go ahead and throw up Flaming Swords on these guys again, and it's kind of like, ugh, they got +1 to wound and flaming attacks. And I'm like, alright, well, go ahead and do it. I mean, whatever. And then he's going to go ahead and throw up Smoldering Ember on these guys as well, and he gets double 6s. So it goes off, it damages the general on the dragon, and that's going to happen. Over here he challenges with his BSB. I accept with my level 2. My level 2 has Pan's protection of whatever is, and he does 2 wounds. Both wounds I actually saved, but he had with the banner, or I think it's his banner, that makes him re-roll any of my successful wards. So I re-roll one of them, or both of them, and I only get 1 wound. So that sucks. His Lion Guard just just annihilate my guys. They killed almost every single forest goblin I had, a couple left remaining, not including, I mean, there's impactors, there's all types of shit going on. He kills off all of them, so they're going to have to run. They don't even get a chance for double ones anymore, because I don't think double ones exist anymore. So they're going to go ahead and run. On their attacks back, though, they ended up killing off one guy. One. And he's going to overrun, of course. And I don't have a picture of the overrun right now. You'll see it a little bit later. But he overruns the Lion Guard right into my general. And he overruns his chariot right into the Feral Orcs. Over here, he goes ahead and he does one wound onto my Git Launcher. My Git Launcher goes back with its 2 attacks. And it killed the fucking eagle. That's awesome. That's great. And the Git Launcher is back in normal. We're going to go ahead into turn 2, Orcs and Goblins. Look at this beautifulness. He actually didn't get the chariot into the orcs. I think he actually restrained on purpose so that he couldn't mess up the charge into the wyvern. So I got my Gargantula on the left charging it to the flank of his Coast Guard. I got my Chicken Head in the rear of the Coast Guard. Actually, I think it's just the side flank from the Coast Guard. I got the Boar Chariot hitting the Sword Masters and the Feral Orcs hitting the Sword Masters. And if I could call out the Wog, I would. I really would. But whatever. Everybody gets in. Holy shit. Alright. So this is kind of how it's looking at the moment. I had to move over the Orcs just couple inches to the right because I'm trying to get into a charge from that into his Lion Guard without giving him a charge from the chariot. Magic Phase, I got 8 power dice. I'm going to go ahead and throw up Here We Go. He dispels it. I throw up Bashing Fist. I don't even think I get it off. Look at how shitty that roll was. And sure enough, that was it for my magic. Shooting Phase, I'm going to go ahead and shoot my Git Launcher into his Knights of Rima, and holy crap. I don't think I wounded him. I got a direct hit, but I don't think I wounded a single one. God damn, that sucks. Yeah, I didn't. Wow. Over here, he goes ahead and attacks. I think he does maybe 1 wound onto my Gargantula. I don't think if he does. The one thing that really cracked me up is though he threw the flaming swords onto these guys and they hit Chicken Head, and Chicken Head has the Dragon Helm, so he's getting 2 up wards against his flaming attacks. I'm just laughing with this. This is great. Chicken Head's going, the Spider are going, and they end up killing together. Oh man, it looks like 12 guys roughly, and I win combat, but unfortunately he's definitely steadfast against me, and he's gonna stick there around, unfortunately. As for the combat over here, the chariot hits the Sea Guard, kills off 2 guys, the Coast Guard. The big Stabadon kills off 2 guys, and then the plates of Tuk-Tuk kill 1 guy. That is awesome, man. Impact hits for the fucking win. So then he's going to go ahead and do his attacks. He ends up killing off like 6 of my guys. I end up attacking back. I end up killing off like maybe like 7 or 8 of his guys. And sure enough, I win combat. He is not steadfast. He's going to run. I am chasing him down. Unfortunately, how did this work? Chicken Head was out of combat because he ran out of ranks in the back, and Chicken Head had nowhere to go. So Chicken Head disengaged from combat, and my Feral Orcs kept running forward. Of course, my Boar Chariot ended up ramming back into this unit over here, and that's going to count for a charge in my next round. Over here, he challenges with his champ. I'm like, son of a bitch. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and attack with my general. He's expecting to win just by having a charge, at least 2 or 3 ranks, and a banner, and a BSB. So that's like 6, okay, against my whatever I could do. So I go ahead and I swing with my general. He didn't realize I had so many attacks. I end up doing a maximum of like 4 or 5 wounds. And that means I only lost by combat by like 1, so I needed an 8, and I roll it, and I'm good, and I'm going to stick there for another round. This kind of sucks for my general, though. Turn 3, Highborn's turn 3, he's going to go ahead and charge a rear charge from his Lancers into the Gargantula. He's going to go ahead and charge his... How's this working? Yeah, he's charging the rear... Or he's charging the Feral Orcs with his General and his Rima Guard, or Rima Knights, and they both get in like so. he's going to go ahead and he gets in here, of course. Magic Face, he gets 7 power dice. He's going to go ahead and throw up flaming swords onto those guys in the back. And I think I dispel that one. He ends up throwing Smoldering Ember onto his dragon boss to give him a ward. It gets off double sixes, does another detonation, doesn't even wound him though. I think he saved that one, luckily. And then he throws up Raging Fire onto my giant, I believe, and it does 1 wound onto my giant. He decides, I'm going to challenge. He declines with his BSB. I'm like, alright, so it's 1 less attack, right? So he goes and he swings with every freaking Lion Guard. His Lion Guard have a special rule where they do 2 wounds for every wound if they're fighting a monster or something like that, right? Which, I'm on a giant fucking monster. He's strength 6. I'm a 2-up armor. So I end up doing like the rolls for the 5-ups. He ended up doing like 5 or 6 wounds. I end up saving like 2 of them right off the bat. I go for the wards. I have 3 wards I have to pass. I have a 4 wound guy though. I roll all 3 of them. And I fail. Now, I thought, to be honest, I had a 5-up ward. I really had a 4-up ward. That's my mistake. But I should have passed at least 1 ward and still had a life left, maybe, or 2. But that was my own mistake. He ended up killing off my general, and that is that. It causes a panic. My orcs are going to go ahead and run, and they run off the table, and that sucks. I just gave up like 700 points or some shit crazy just because I failed on where I positioned my general, to be honest, and I failed on not knowing my general's own rules. So over here, he's going to challenge with his knight. I'm going to accept with my BSB. He ends up doing only 1 wound onto my knight, or my BSB, I'm sorry. My BSB fails to wound him. My feral orcs, they lost a couple from fighting his knights, but they end up killing off all the knights except for the one guy who's in the challenge. He's going to go ahead and stick. I should have just declined with my BSB, to be honest. But I didn't even bother attacking the dragon. The dragon's going. He has a breath weapon, kills off a shit ton of guys. He does thunder stomps, kills off a shit ton of guys. And he every time he rolled for thunder stomps, he got a 6. That sucks. And sure enough, this is how much of my unit is left at the moment. I roll, but I have I have the Crown of Command or Crown of Dominion on the left, a guy on the left there. So sure enough, I'm going to stick. And unfortunately, this is not a very good situation for the Feral Orcs. It looks really bad for me right now. We'll see what happens. Over here, Impact hits, kills off 3 of his Coast Guard. He goes ahead and does his attacks in the rear. He does 2 wounds onto my Gargantula. My Gargantula goes, kills off at least 5 to 8 guys or something like that. And I win combat. These guys over here flee from the Gargantula, right? And when they flee, they run through the building. They have to take dangerous trains on a 1, 2, or 3 when fleeing, and he loses 4 guys. He lost 4 guys. That is awesome. I love that rule on fleeing and dangerous terrain. Over here, I think that's it. I think his other guy's stuck in combat for another turn. It's going to start off Orcs and Goblins' turn. I lost track of the turns. My giant is going to go ahead and charge into his chariot. I was actually looking at the giant charging into potentially the Lion Guard's side, just because I thought I could help out my general, but it didn't happen. So he's going to end up hitting the chariot. I'm going to go ahead and charge Chicken Head into the rear of these guys over here. And Chicken Head gets in. I think the giant failed his charge, to be honest. Magic Phase, I got 6 power dice. I throw up Bashing Fist, get it off. I throw up Get Them, get it off. And that is it. As for my Get Launchers, they're both shooting at these guys. One misfires or floats off, and then the other one only kills off 2 guys only. That sucks. Over here, he ends up putting on 1 killing blow or lethal strike, that's what it's called. Lethal strike onto my chariot and does 1 wound. Besides that, though, I'm going to go ahead with Chicken Head. Chicken Head kills off 1 guy. My Gargantula kills off only 1 guy. The Goblins go, and the Goblins kill off like 4 or 5 more guys. It causes him to have not enough for a rank anymore. He's going to fail his leadership check because I charged and I got a rear and I killed off like 5-6 guys or whatever. And he's gonna run. He only has one guy left, one single guy, just the musician left for whatever reason. It might have been should have been the standard, but whatever. I think it's just no. I think it was the standard, and then we swapped it out for the musician just because you're supposed to lose the banner. So I'm like, okay, well, really, I want the Ragnarok to help out the Feral Orcs. He needs to help out the Feral Orcs. I really don't want to chase the one guy. I mean, like in general, that one guy should not roll his leadership check on the remaining moves, right? Because he's going to consistently be fleeing. Okay, so I do decide to chase with Chicken Head and the Chariot. I decided to keep the Ragnarok sitting back and just chilling back there, right? So that's how it looks. I do not catch the guy. He gets into the forest. Chicken Head chases him into the forest, and my Chariot just kind of stops short. But oh, the Giant did get in. Over here, it's gonna go ahead and do. I go ahead and I do 6, which is like stomp, right? Or smash with club. That's what it is. And I go ahead and I do it, but I fail to wound him at all. And not only that, but it makes him stop for a turn on his close combat. He does change to turn this way to face me, so he doesn't get a side. I don't get a side flank on the whatever. He didn't run from combat, but nothing really happened. Neither one of us damaged each other, and but he can't attack for 2 turns. Turn 4 or turn 5, whatever turn this is, Highborns. He's gonna go ahead and do the challenge. Or I'm sorry, I don't think we did that fight at all. I think I'm jumping ahead. We didn't do that fight at all. Alright, so he goes ahead and finishes off my BSB in the challenge. That sucks. It was a very lucky hit, too. And again, this is my bad for not paying attention. My BSB is still a feral BSB, so he still had a ward save. I didn't roll for that. That sucks. And again, this is really where you mess up the games, is not remembering your own damn rules. That sucks. Alright. I go ahead and I turn my Iron Orc onto his general, does 1 wound onto his general. He goes ahead and swings or hits my unit back, kills off a couple of my unit, and Thunderstomps gets 6 again, kills off a shit ton of my guys. And sure enough, I am going to have to run, and I run, and he chases me down and kills me. He decides to overrun into, or he was going to overrun, and to hit Chicken Head. I think he does. Yeah, he does. He overruns right into Chicken Head, and I'm like, son of a bitch. And his one knight chases and kind of cuts into my Boar Chariot and my Gargantua's charge arc. It's going to start off his turn. He's going to go ahead and continue fleeing. Okay, so this guy's going to continue running. Magic Face, he gets 8 power dice. And he throws up Flame Jet. Okay, so he throws it from his dragon, and it goes ahead, it hits Chicken Head, it hits the Chariot. But the thing is, it didn't wound either one of them, right? But it doesn't say that you have to wound to take a panic check, but the Flame Jet says you have to take a panic check when anybody's hit. So the Chariot takes a panic check, and the Chariot runs. Chicken Head is stuck in combat, so he can't run, but that sucks. He rolls for Flaming Swords onto his general. Now, he already fought Chicken Head with Flaming Swords with the Swordmasters, and the Swordmasters couldn't wound Chicken Head because Chicken Head has a Dragon Helm, and he does a 2+ ward against fire. So why in the hell did he throw up Flaming Swords onto his general? I don't know. After he did it, he was like, oh, I could just turn it off. I'm like, it's the last one turn. It's not a remaining play. You can't just turn it off. And he's like, shit. Shit. Oh, man. I was dying laughing at that part. Okay, anyways. The Lion Chariot over here takes 2 wounds from a Thump with Club. And he doesn't get to attack back because I did that stomp on the last turn. So over here, he actually gets, what is it? He actually takes 2 wounds from Chicken Head. 2! Oh shit, Chicken Head! He does 1 wound, or I'm sorry, he does 2 wounds back through my 2-up ward. That's some bullshit. I fail combat. You got charge, a flank, and two wounds. I did 2 wounds back. If I would have just tied him, I would have been cool. But Chicken Head's gonna run, and he's gonna chase Chicken Head, and he mows Chicken Head down. But it is my turn, and my Gargantula is hungry as hell. So, Orcs and Goblins turn. I'm going to charge side flank with my Gargantula, get in, and I rally my Orc Chariot. My Git launchers both shoot this way into his unit, and they fail to wound. I actually was originally going to aim at the single guy, so that way I get the points, but then I realized he has to declare charges before flees, so that guy's actually blocking his charge into my Gargantula, so I'm just going to go ahead and just leave that guy alone. His chariot guys end up killing off my giant. That sucks, man. These Lion Guard are really good against monsters, and my whole army's fucking monsters. That sucks. And he continues to go this way. My Gargantula destroyed his fucking guy without even a chance. So he did like one hit with the poison jaw and did like 5 wounds. Gargantula is 1 initiative faster than the dragon, so he didn't even get a chance to wound it. It's going to go ahead and start off his turn 6. He's going to go ahead and charge his Lion Chariot into my Git launcher. This guy rallied. What the fuck? I forgot about him. He just rallies out of nowhere. And that's it. There's no magic because his general's dead. There's no shooting, so he goes straight into close combat. His Lion Chariot eats my Git launcher. He goes for the overrun. There's a 5-inch gap in between these guys. He rolls a 3. I think it might have been like a 4-inch gap. He rolled a 3 on the overrun. Oh, he didn't finish him off. That's fucking hilarious. Oh, man. It's going to start off Orcs and Goblins turn 6. Orcs and Goblins turn 6. I move my chariot way out of the way. I move my Gargantula over this way, out of his charge arc of his Lion Guard. Well, it doesn't matter because it's the last turn of the game. He can't even charge. But sure enough, my shooting phase, I'm going to shoot these goblins on top of the Gargantula right at his single dude running away. I kill him. My Git launcher shoots at the last knight of Rima and kills him. And that is the end of the game. This guy lived. This guy lived. These guys are all alive. And that is it. Oh my god, that was a crazy game. In the end, his Lion Guard, his Lion Chariot, his BSB, and the single guy that's alive in the far left, they are giving him a total of like 200 to 300 points more than I have. I did kill a lot of his banners, which are worth points on every banner I kill, which is making me think that I shouldn't bring banners on like the unit of orcs and shit like that. I don't care about combat res, I just don't want to give him more points. They you know, I made some major mistakes. I made a major mistake of that, leaving the forest goblins out of the forest, even the stand and shoot. I did a stand and shoot on the chariot. I couldn't even wound it. I had a couple shitty rolls. I mean, like I had the thump with club. I could have easily done like 11 wounds or something crazy onto the chariot. I did 3. You know, same thing with the vindictive glare, the evil eye. I did 4, and I barely killed 1 or 2 guys. There was a lot of back and forth. There were some points of the game where I was like, I got this, and then there were some parts of the game where I was like, are you serious? Like Chicken Head versus the Dragon. That was just like, I should have had not got wounded at all. With a 2-up ward against fire flaming attacks, and he does literally all his attacks flaming attacks, he shouldn't have been able to wound me. But overall, the game was a hell of a game to play. I find it a lot of fun, games like this against Dan, where it's just a bloody battle. It was just bloody everywhere. Like I said, I lost about like 200 to 300 points total. He should have been able to chop down my other Git launcher to give him another 100 points, but I think both armies held their own pretty well. Did pretty well. As for my MVP, I'm gonna have to give it to my Gargantula. I really wanted to give it to Chicken Head. Chicken Head made me fucking laugh. He fucking did 2 wounds. He weakened up the general for the Gargantula, but the Gargantula took out the unit of Seaguard. He took out half the unit of Highborn Lancers, and he took out the general and the remaining Swordmasters, I believe. No, he didn't take out the Swordmasters. Swordmasters were taken out by the Feral Orcs. And he took out that single guy that was running away. So the Gargantula is definitely getting my MVP award, 210 points. That is the best thing out of 9th Age. They gave me a Gargantula for cheaper than what the competitors were doing. Chicken Head did a solid job. My general really got into the wrong fight. He had the right unit lined up against my general, and that shouldn't have happened. in all fairness, I should have had at least the orcs in front of the general itself. But I was figuring, don't move the orcs; they could get better shots at the eagle and protect my doom divers. I had the right strategy in mind. It was poor execution. I gave them easy charges, and that was my mistake. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to be putting up, I have one more video in the bank right now, and then after that I'm actually playing another game tonight against Len. I think Len might be bringing out his Empire army. If he's not bringing out his Empire, he's bringing out his Lizardmen. But it's actually my first time I'm ever playing Len, so this will be fun, and I'll be putting up that video later this week. If you guys haven't hit like and subscribe, hit it already, and I will be putting up the videos very shortly. If you have any comments or feedback, put them down, and I will be glad to answer. I love your guys' comments and feedback. It makes me what's the word I'm looking for? It motivates me to do these videos, more or less. So, looking forward to what you guys have to say, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Peace.